Welcome to the third module of the NIMS Training Tracker video series. This time we'll talk about the role of NIMS Administrators. As you've learned from the two earlier videos, this program creates an online library of individual emergency training profiles for efficient tracking of a responder team's preparedness capabilities. It also supports report management functions and allows timely data access. The NIMS Training Tracker provides an easy online access to multi-source compiled training databases and allows for fluid data tracking, making the tasks of accountability and reportability consistent. NIMS Administrators, central figures in the program's format, are placed in the hierarchy of chain of command structure above principals. Administrators are liaisons between the team and stakeholders at various levels, by virtue of their duties, serving as managers of finances and staff training time. Administrators provide consistency in any support their jurisdiction provides to directly facilitate their department's integration within the emergency response structure. Emergency response teams operate with other responders. Each team is trained to serve its own specific mandates, but is often called on to participate in a broader incident response, requiring the need for individual cross-training. Expanding the scope of preparedness leads to breadth of response capabilities. The program allows administrators to pull student transcripts into a single profile to screen for possible gaps in training. A scalable pattern of ICS response protocols, repeated within the NIMS Training Tracker program, allows administrators to meet preparedness needs in a structurally consistent format. NIMS administrators are placed higher in the chain of command than principals. They can plan and expand training into practical activities using local efforts such as tabletop exercises, drills, and others. Announced through the program as events, they are treated the same way as standard training. Administrators are directly involved in planning, coordinating, and funding such events. The structure of emergency response duties is built within the hierarchy of the jurisdiction. Departments or divisions perform core functions such as law enforcement, fire protection, public works, and emergency management. Additional resources may join in hazard mitigation and emergency response as needed. A NIMS coordinator who has a higher emergency management responsibility generally comes from the ranks of the Emergency Management Department. The program assumes that NIMS administrators come from each department and are accountable in their specific functions to both the employer and staff. They are the rules of the game setters who install the basic guidelines of emergency response interaction. In the program, they have a broader view of department student learning plans than principals. In short, administrators bear a primary duty of balancing parts of the puzzle: budgetary constraints, individual training patterns, and the needs of the organization. The program's format helps administrators in this balancing job. Principals come from each department as tenured emergency response staff who work with students to create learning plans. They also expand their assistance by cross-training students from other departments. Students represent all departments and associated volunteer groups. When groups outside the jurisdiction are involved, such as an LEPC, a reserve administrator may be assigned from the Emergency Management Department. Administrators are responsible to the jurisdiction for funding allocation and staff scheduling. The NIMS Training Tracker program's data management interface contributes to accountability and reportability functions for both administrators and coordinator when communicating the valuable message about the team's emergency response preparedness. Within the program, administrators can view but not edit student learning plans from their departments, and also view everyone's transcripts. They can enter data about the jurisdiction's divisions and communities. The administrator can appoint principals and also promote any participant to the status of NIMS coordinator, but is not allowed to appoint another administrator. We will take a tour of the program with Administrator George Ramlich. Notice that the broad dashboard has some menu items not displayed for students or principals. In the Users menu, he can see the names, email address hyperlinks, division, community, assigned principal's name, and 3 hyperlink commands for each user's account to edit, change password, and delete. The Change Password link generates a temporary password and sends it to the identified user using email. George goes to the Communities and Divisions menus, where he can add entries for both screens and modify assigned administrators and principals. These are used when new users enter the program. Faculty assignments can be changed after student accounts have been created, but this feature gives faculty the ability to welcome new participants into the chain of command from the start. As George moves to the Courses menu, we see an additional tool to remove courses from the databases. And like other faculty, George can add new courses to any provider's database. In the My Students menu, George sees a list of everyone he administers within the jurisdiction. In this case, George is the only NIMS administrator in the subscription, and he can access all student data. In some subscriptions, NIMS administrators come from each division or cooperator, like Office of Emergency Management, Fire Department, Police Department, Public Works Department, or LEPC. The My Admin screen is the same format as seen by other system users. When George moves to the Learning Plan page, the default is to first show his personal learning plan with his principal's name. A major difference is that the NIMS administrator can view learning plans for all students in the department, but cannot edit them. It allows the administrator to view the status of student learning plans. On the transcript screen, George sees his own transcript first and can view all student transcripts for the jurisdiction. Administrators serving a mandate of authority are also students attending courses, participating in drills and exercises, each having a designated principal. When needed, administrators also serve as part of the incident command system. Look and learn is the philosophy of the program concerning administrators. This modest involvement does not diminish in any way the role of these important figures in the general setup of emergency response. NIMS administrators are considered ambassadors between the emergency management team and the jurisdiction's leadership. They also carry the rank-and-file job of serving as students, like everybody else. A total of 5 training videos familiarize you with the operations of the NIMS Training Tracker program, offered as a software-as-a-service solution.